What's up, bot fam? Welcome to our first official YouTube video.
Woo woo! Welcome, guys. In this video, we're going to share our top 5 ways to get chatbot agency clients at conferences. And stay until the end to get a bonus tip.
All right, so first off, we've got contact information, exchanging contact information. It's something that we all do at conferences, but I think oftentimes it's done so incorrectly and there's no value taken away from that exchange of contact information. So let's kind of just go over what I've seen at conferences in regards to like what a normal exchange of contact information is going to look like. So, you might go up to a guy and you're saying like, hey, John, you see his name on his name tag, maybe you introduce yourselves, John, Kyle, and then you're going to ask what he does. Why is he there at the conference? Then you guys are going to kind of go into talking about what each one of you do at your business, right? Maybe you'll go into where you're from. As humans, I think you'll start to try to find similarities with each other so you can kind of bridge that gap and build more of a relationship. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much all you're going to do. Hi, this is my name. This is what I do. This might be where I'm from. Here's my card, and then goodbye. You put that card in your pocket, and you more than likely will never reach out to them or even look at that card again. If you do, you might just pull it out, look at their position, and say, oh, okay, yeah, I remember him. You might even run into him again or her at the conference and see their face, say, oh, hey, John, and it'll be a little wave, and nothing really more than that ends up actually happening. So what we've done in regards to kind of trying to take a different approach to this exchange of contact information is come up with a Facebook Messenger scan code. Now, if you don't know what a Facebook Messenger scan code is, it's very similar to a QR code and can be scanned inside of the Facebook Messenger app. And so when we scan this Facebook Messenger code, and we'll bring it up here on the video so you can get a better look, it's going to actually take them down a unique funnel that's going to say, hey, looks like you met Kyle, our CEO at School of Bots. And then it'll give them instructions to connect with me on LinkedIn, connect with me on Facebook, email me, go to our website, many other options that I'm going to have Natasha dig into in one of our other tips in the video here. So now, number 2, let's talk about swag, right? You probably have seen me wearing my School of Bots shirt all the time. I live in this thing. I think that it's super important, especially when you're going out to conferences, to kind of show that passion, to show that credibility, to show that you are committed to really bringing value to customers through your brand. Now, at that Traffic and Conversion Conference, I was throwing out socks left and right. People were super stoked on it. They loved it. We got the School of Bots socks right here. And again, we'll pull this up on the video so you can see a little bit closer. And the School of Bots socks even have our scan code, which Natasha will go into. But people love it because socks are something that everyone wears that, you're not going to throw away immediately because you're saying, okay, like at the end of the day, I can get some use out of this, right? So I'm not telling you to go out and buy shirts and buy socks and be handing that out. Maybe you're an agency where handing out socks for brand awareness isn't necessarily at the top of your mind. But what should be done is you putting your brand on swag, showing that credibility. When you're meeting that person, they can look at you, they see your face, and they also see the brand on your chest, right? When you give them that business card, they recognize the brand again. Maybe you can go one step further and have like a pen or a bottle opener, a bottle opener, little pun on bot words there. But yeah, there are all sorts of little things that you can hand that are somewhat useful that will give that impression of credibility and also give you kind of a lasting memory so they know who you are and kind of remember that conversation that they had with you.
Absolutely. And something that one of our students does, Wayne, is he has a hat printed with a little animated version of him and with the name of his company, which is the Digital Marketing Guy. And he wears it at all the conferences that he goes to. And of course, people are asking about it. They're curious. And something else that we do as well is, Kyle, turn around. On the back of his shirt, we have a scan code as well, which will show you guys what actually happens when you scan that here in the video. But we have that on our back so that even if people are seeing us from way far away and they're like, oh, that's interesting, what is that? They're going to come up to us and ask what that scan code is, and that's going to initiate a conversation to eventually, hopefully, turn them into a client or at least get them excited about chatbots and what we do.
Yeah, honestly, the scan code, the purpose behind it wasn't on the back of the shirt. It wasn't necessarily to get people to come up and scan your shirt as much as it was of an awareness thing. People haven't seen Messenger scan codes before. And so it triggers that curiosity and opens up that conversation at a conference.
Absolutely. Tip number 3 is going to be how to best follow up with someone and figure that out. So something that I like to do is at the end of my conversation with someone, if it's been a great conversation, I'm curious about what they do and they are looking to hire someone like us or are interested at least in having a further conversation, then I try to figure out the best way to get in touch with them. Yeah. And sometimes that's not going to be them going to your website or you handing them your business card or them emailing you, right? And so usually what I do is figure out which platform they're most active on. And so I literally ask them, hey, what's the best way to connect with you? Which platform are you most active on? And what I mean by that is, do you use Instagram the most? Are you on LinkedIn? Do you use Facebook? Do you use Facebook Messenger? Should you just email me? Should I text you? Should I call you? Right? And so usually for me, I've found that 90% of the time that means either us connecting on a Facebook, where I'll let them scan my personal code as well and have them send me a message there so I can follow up with them, or it's going to be for them to email or for me to share my contact card or they to share their contact card with me so that then we can follow up with each other and at least have each other in our phones. But a couple other ways, like I mentioned, you can have someone scan your LinkedIn code. You could have them scan your Instagram code. And so there's a lot of different ways to follow up with someone that even though we have awesome business cards, sometimes it's not going to be the right time to share that with someone and instead follow up with them on a virtual medium so that I can actually make sure I'm going to get a hold of them after the conference.
Yeah, I think it's important to always kind of exchange your cards just so they have that knowledge of who you are. And again, on our cards, we'll show you, we've got the pictures of our face so they can see that and they can remember that conversation. But it also is important to kind of feel them out, see what's going to be the best way for me to contact them. They might be popular. They might have lots of people following up with them after the conference, and the likelihood that they see your email or your Facebook message might be pretty low. So feeling them out and figuring out what's going to be the best way for you to follow up with them and give you the most likelihood that they actually engage and open up a conversation with you.
Tip number 4 is to actually create different scan codes for each of the ways you're going to opt people in. For example, here on our socks, you can see that there's a scan code right here, and this is actually going to be different from the scan code that's on the back of our shirts, as well as different from the scan code that's going to be on the back of our business cards.
As well as different than the scan code that's on my iPhone background, as well as the scan code on my Apple Watch.
As well as between us. So when you scan my business card scan code, it's going to say, hey, you met Natasha, our Chief Marketing Officer. When you scan Kyle's scan code, it's going to say, hey, you met Kyle, our CEO. And so we made sure to differentiate that so that we can really customize and personalize that experience that someone's going to get inside of the chatbot and also make it relevant for them, right? Because we would want to say, hey, thanks for scanning, the shirt code. Clearly you're wearing our shirt, and so, welcome to the bot fam, or thanks for being a part of it. And then with the business cards, obviously that's usually not going to be the same context as us giving someone a shirt and them scanning that.
Absolutely. We even go one step further if we're at a conference and we're handing out these socks and shirts and we meet one of our students who's there and they don't have any socks yet and we give them our socks. Well, they'll scan the code. The bot will recognize, hey, looks like you're already one of our students. Super awesome that you got to connect with Kyle in person and take them down that path.
Yep, exactly. And so we try to do that not just with the scan codes, but to go one level deeper, like Kyle said. We make sure that inside of the chatbot, we're actually checking where they've come in from before, how the bot has interacted with them, so that we're actually continuing a conversation instead of them feeling like they're starting a new conversation every time that they talk to the chatbot. Just kind of this opposite of what you get with Alexa or Siri, where you try to continue a conversation, but they don't remember any of the conversations you've had with them ever before. And so this is a little bit different, where you can personalize that and make sure that if someone is a part of your audience, they're going to feel special. And if they're not, then they're going to think it's really awesome that they got a different message from scanning your socks as opposed to scanning your business card.
Tip number 5, systems, systems, systems. Draw out a system. Hopefully you're subscribed to our YouTube channel already, but if you're not, do so right now, because for the rest of this year, I'm going to be talking about how systems are definitely the main reason why we are successful and how we stay so organized at School of Bots. We pretty much draw a system out for anything that we do here. And so for Traffic and Conversion Summit, we sat down, wrote out a system to make sure that our team had a perfect understanding of exactly what our goals are there. If someone asks us, what is conversational marketing? We have the exact same answer. If someone asks us, what do you guys do? How can I work with you? We will send them down that exact same path. So we eliminate the variation for any problems happening or any issues happening where you're not going to close that lead or you're not going to progress that conversation. drawing out a system with your team is definitely going to help you have a clear understanding of what you're wanting to do to make sure that no issues happen and that you get the most out of going to that conference. So on our next YouTube video, I'm actually going to be walking down or breaking down the exact system that we used at Traffic and Conversion. I'll show you what software I used to build my systems, as well as kind of give you an overview of what a system is and why it was so beneficial for us gaining the maximum value possible from going to Traffic and Conversion.
And finally, our bonus tip, if you are at a conference that offers to buy the recordings of all the sessions, then don't go to any of the sessions. Just spend your time actually connecting with all the people who have come from all sorts of different parts of the world or of the country to connect at this conference and get a chance to actually meet as many of them as possible, so that then when you go home, you can actually go and listen to the sessions there instead of sitting in rooms, listening to the sessions, which is great, but not getting a chance to really connect with all the people who are around you.
I think one thing that we end up doing at all the conferences is finding maybe like 20% or 10% of the lectures or of the speeches that we actually really want to hear, that we don't want to miss, that we want to hear on that day. So maybe we could have conversations with people about that conference, keep it relevant. So I think we definitely end up going to one or two no matter what. But at the end of the day, we've for sure found the value coming in seeing those speeches and seeing those seminars after the fact, watching those recordings and taking as much time as we can to build our brand awareness and to have conversations with leads and to better build up our skills. Thanks for watching this video.
If you enjoyed it, give us a like and comment which of these ways you're going to use at your next conference in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get access to our upcoming content, where we'll be covering messenger marketing strategies, chatbot sales tips, and agency systems and building. See you guys in our next video.